Hello everyone, I'm Jeff Slingloff with Boston Roland here at NAMM 2018. I'm really excited to tell you about something called the GT1000. The GT1000 is an exciting new effects processor that we've come up with, which has 32-bit A to D and 96 kilohertz sample rate, both in and out and throughout the system. This is really powerful, right? We've got a new processing chip that we've been using in this guy, and between that and the algorithms that we've got from the 500 series pedal, the DD500, the RV500, the MD500, it's really, you know, a wonderful tool. Now, since we're Boss, I'm sure you expect us to have lots of effects in there, and we do, right? Most of the effects from algorithms from the 500 series, as I said, are in there. But the thing that makes this new and to really, like, you know, take advantage of this new processing power is something we called ARID, or Augmented Impulse Response Dynamics. We call it AIRD. And what is AIRD? Well, pay attention to the D in this word. ARD stands for dynamics. Dynamics are the thing that guitar players love, we feel. When we don't have it, we kind of whine a little bit, to be honest, right? We're on stage and everybody's like, you're too loud. It's like, it doesn't feel right. Well, guess what? This is meant to feel right, and that's what it really does. We first started doing that back in the, with the Waza amplifier, the Tube Logic story that we've told and used in Roland Blues Cube, Katana amplifiers. They really feel and cut through a band. But we had the advantage of having a physical system that we could work with. With a multi-effects processor, being able to do amp tones, you want to be able to plug this into anything you want, right? Whether it be an amplifier or the front of house or your DAW. So we've come up with AIRD technology, which takes and adds something that we're not getting in the typical IR response that you're getting from that's very common in the world today. IR stand for impulse response, and the typical way they work is they're not getting anything more than the frequency response and some decay time from the cabinet response. It's not doing what a real cabinet does. A real cabinet actually works a little bit forward and backwards. That backwards being, as it moves, its spring action is feeding back into the amplifier. So like that tone I was just playing a second ago. Let me play that for a second. You can probably feel it like a little thump, thump, thump. Hopefully through your speakers at home. I definitely feel it here in the room, right? So like a... Again, when I dig into it, you really feel it. And if I just snap on it a little bit. So it really has just a ton of feel and vibe right on my fingertips. I'm just listening to a small studio monitor here to try and be able to listen to you while we're doing this video. Right? When I get into the amps like we have in the other room, it's, you know, with big Waza power, it's really a fun experience. In addition to all that processing power and all the effects you can run over 5 delays. You have 4 parallel paths. You can route things in pretty much any routing order that you'd like to see. And in addition to that, you've got 4 outputs on it. It's got 1/4-inch outputs, XLR outputs, so you can feed it to multiple places at the same time. You can even do like a 7-cable mode instead of the typical 4-cable method, right? And when you do that, it's going to allow you to send separate amp tones to any source you'd like. You have 2 simultaneous amps, and you could do something, for example, like send the house a clean amp with delay and chorus on it, while you're sending your amp on stage a high gain amp and you know, something else, right? So it's really fun because the guitar player can have what they feel is comfortable, and the sound can be something totally different on stage if you needed to. Now, with all that processing power and editing, there's a really comprehensive display and ability to edit inside of this guy. Like if I hit this guy real quick, you can see all these chains, and right now I got 2 parallel paths, and one of them has a parallel path within the parallel path. I can simply move things around by scrolling over top of it, moving it to wherever I want. I can even move the path itself by just going on there, and now I put it on the other path. Now I'm going to put it in front of everybody. So really super easy to edit, and there's a great function in here which I love. Since you're looking over my shoulder, let me just kind of click on it real quick. Okay, a page over, and you see this thing where it says Stomp Box here? What that allows us to do is I can take that amp tone or any effect tone that I'd like inside the box, and it allows me to call them a stomp box. Once they're a stomp box, I can make any other preset have that same stomp box in it. So now, when you're in the middle of the gig, just like any other pedal board that you've used, if you lean down and turn a knob, you don't affect it on the one in front of you, you affect it on all presets that use that stomp box. So great for anybody who likes to change their delay time based on the sound of the room, or people when they show up for a gig and when they get there, the amplifier, you know, the sound man says turn down the bass a little bit. Well, instead of going through every single preset, they can just do it by one simple knob. So really a great function. Speaking of those effects, let's go to a preset that I have here and just play something that's a little bit on the wet side. Helps if I hit the button. And I got no sound. Why? There it is. Now, all that editing is fun and wonderful from this great display and screen and ready to go for you, but you know what? Today, we've designed the screen so that it can handle light, as I mentioned, and be on a good stage or under the sun. But what you can also do is you can edit it from your phone. So your phone is a great source to have everything on it and be ready to go. These things are really ready for professional players to go out on the road. They're small format. They're going to be coming to you in about 3 months. So here we are at NAMM 2018, and this is GT1000. Something else I'm really excited about to tell you about is another addition to the Katana line. Katanas have been out for about 1.5 years, and they've been, you know, really fun for us, and I hope for all of you. And one of the things that everybody's loved about them, of course, is that they have the tube logic feel and sensibilities, that whole ability to cut through, which is why we called them Katana. So we started off with a little change in the interface design by putting the knobs on the front of the unit. We have 5 different amp tones, just like the regular Katana series, and it gets a little bit different down here because you have the same effects, same EQ section, and when you get to the amp tone settings, you notice there's now an A/B button, so you can switch through and get all 8 of them. It still has the classic power control function, and here's the new function I want to tell you about: cabinet resonance. So this thing, what we really started to do is we put a bigger speaker inside of it. So we took the Waza speaker from the Waza Craft amplifiers, which is designed to be like a classic greenback style speaker, but needed to handle 100 watts. So we had that, and we put this in a bigger box, 3/4 inch 3/4 closed cabinet, and all the tone that we wanted for that girth and that energy that we think artists would like. We've also added this feature that's, you know, as I was pointing out, called cabinet resonance. Cabinet resonance, it allows you to change the sensation, the damping factor. That thing you feel under your hands, feel is really important for guitar players, and that gives you a little bit of a chance to change it. So let me just chunk on something for a second and see if we can tell what the difference is. That's in vintage style, which is going to change the transformer tone. It's also going to change the resonance of the speaker cabinet. Now let's go modern. So now I'm going to do one more, which is go deep. But if I'm going to go deep, let's drop the deep. So, big Waza speaker, bigger box, 3/4, 100 watts of power, and it's the Katana Artist. Please go check them out. They're full of energy, full of fun, and I think you're going to really like them. In addition to the Katana Artist, which is already exciting enough, there's a new product in the Katana line called Katana Air. Now, Katana Air takes the same sound set that we know and love on Katanas with the same type of 5 amp tones, the 3-band EQ, and of course the 3 simultaneous effects with the switch that you can switch between those. And you know, it goes one step further, a big step, and as many steps as you want, because you pull this guy out, it's been charging in there, and now put this in your guitar, and now you're wireless. It's a battery-operated amplifier or wall mount, and of course with this and this, it becomes the first truly wireless guitar amplifier. This is great because it has this feature where it'll hold battery life for 12 hours after charging here. Put it in my guitar, this transmitter will fall asleep if I'm not using it. So just set it on the couch. 12 hours between when you're not playing, you know, is a long, long time. So you take this thing, set your guitar on the couch, and it goes to sleep. Now everybody in the house is using this as a Bluetooth audio player because this isn't Bluetooth, but it has Bluetooth ability for music and sound. Your family, your kids are playing music on it. You can hear an idea. You pick up your guitar. There's a motion sensor in here. As soon as it moves, it wakes up this or the amp, or both if it needed, and instantly you're jamming. So you don't even think about it. It's as easy as having an acoustic guitar, except for like once a week, charge this thing up, right? Really an awesome feature. In addition to that, there's a Bluetooth editor, so you can, on your phone, you can get in, just like the Tone Studio that you've seen for Katanas today, but now it's on your phone and can Bluetooth operate and get into more than 50 boss effects inside. So Katana Air, they're really awesome, and I think you're gonna have a lot of fun with them because it is the closest and most instant access to fun.